We are here today with Neil Napier. Neil, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Good to be here again.
Neil, today we're going to be talking about something that I see all over the place, and I don't quite understand necessarily how it all works. I hope you're going to help us with this, but I know people are actually selling this as a service and charging either a big chunk of money one time or getting people on a monthly retainer and getting them to pay over and over again because, quite frankly, businesses are getting
Mhm.
results from this, and that's QR codes. Now, I've never figured out how to actually make money from this, but I know you have. I'm going to read off the
Yeah.
headline for this and have you bring us into this. It says here, launch a $3,000 a month AI employee agency that automates follow-up and appointment booking for local businesses, zero tech skills required. So bring us into this. What's this all about and why should we be excited?
Yeah, so I want to talk about the backstory first of all to
Sure.
this because it is important. We've been for quite some time working with other businesses, B2B businesses, doing content creation for them. So we have another company which handles content creation. So we've been doing this for them. And some time ago, what prompted this sales page, what prompted this offer was that some time ago, one of the clients, we were talking to them about what other problems they had in their business. And they mentioned that because they can't operate 24/7 in their business because they have limited opening hours, they sometimes miss crucial opportunities for appointments or closing sales.
Mhm.
So that made us realize that it wasn't just them. We spoke to a few other people. We realized that there was a lot of businesses out there that were struggling with trying to capture people when they are not operating. I'll give an example. Let's say you're driving a car and God forbid you end up in an accident like 11 p.m. Of course, you can call the insurance company and you can sort those things out, but you may also need services of a lawyer. And if you frantically try and figure out who to call, you can quite often send them a message from their website, or you can, of course, call them, which will go nowhere because no one's operating at 11 p.m. So that law firm could potentially lose you as a customer. And of course, you also face a lot of problems at that time. So we thought about what if there was a way for someone looking for a type of business at a particular time in the day to quickly engage and get answers rather than waiting for the business to open or for the rush to go away or having to figure it all on their website. So that prompted us to create Local AI Fleet, which essentially, if I was to give you an elevator pitch, it gives you the ability as a local business, as a business, to have AI employees operating on your behalf at all times of the day, which allows you to capture a bigger portion of the market, recover the lost money in those situations and do so without having to hire more people.
So where do the QR codes end up getting into this? How is that integrated into this system?
Yeah, really good question. So QR code is our mechanism to capture that audience. So this is
Okay.
how it typically works, and we can do a demo in just a little bit. But when you work with clients, you want to put an action item on their website or maybe on a flyer or something that gets people to basically connect with that client's business. And these days you don't really want to put a long URL on a piece of paper in the market square because no one's going to type that URL on their website. So QR codes are the norms where you basically scan something quickly, it takes you to a website where you can then opt in, you can engage. So that's exactly what we do as well. And in fact, I want to go in and show you this because I think when I demo this, it'll make a lot more sense. Is that okay?
Go for it. Bring us in.
All right, so let's go do that right now. So we're in the local AI fleet members area right now, and I'll show you how easy it is to set this up for any clients that you're bringing in. So let's assume for a second you already have a client and you want to set up a campaign for them that helps them recover those lost leads, that makes sure that they can engage with their audience 24/7. You can go into clients and then you can add a new client, which is quite easy to do. You put the business name, you put a business type, and we've got some predefined business types for which we have templates. I'll show you this in a minute. And then you can put the contact, email, phone number, business address, all those things. I'll show you one of the ones that I built in recently. So this is Itsuyaki. I think I spelled it Itsuyaki. Yeah, it's a local restaurant here where I live.
Okay.
And we go to this restaurant all the time. And once you add a client, as we were discussing before, you can build out their QR campaign, right? So QR campaign gives you a means to capture the audience details when they come to your website. Or if you want to print that on a flyer, put it out in a local area, you can do that as well. Quite often you see that with gyms where they've got some special going around Christmas time and they put a lot of flyers in the city. So when you create a new campaign, you can pick one of the different templates that we have available. There's more coming over here, so there's some space. But let's say if I pick a gold gym as a template, and when you do that, you can choose what information you want to collect. So I'll just call this demo 3. You can choose what information you want to collect, which gives you a QR code, which, as I mentioned, you can download, you can print it on a flyer, do whatever you want to do. And then you've got your landing page as well that people will go to, which you can customize. So if I show you this, you can change this headline, you can change all these details over here. And once someone scans the QR code, they come and fill this form in. And after they fill that form in, they can engage with AI employees in real time. So this is how that part works. So let's go back into the dashboard, and we've got our AI employees over here. I'm going to delete this one that I made earlier because I want to show you this from scratch again. So let's go ahead and add a new employee for this local business that we added in earlier. So that'd be Natasha. And the business in this case is Itsuyaki, it's this. And because it's a restaurant, maybe Natasha has a more friendly and casual way of communicating. You know, maybe if it's a law firm, you want to be more professional and formal. So you can kind of create a personality for these AI employees. When you do that, when you create the employee, you can then train this employee on the client information. So you can go ahead and you can add their opening hours, their special offers if they have any, reservation info, all these things, like typically what you'd expect with a local business. And then you can you can add FAQs as well. For me, for example, if I want to go to a restaurant, I want to know if it's kid friendly. Can kids eat there as well? Or is there a play area, which is quite common in Europe with restaurants that have like a small play area for the kids so the parents can eat in peace. So I can add all those details in. So instead of, you know, someone trying to figure out how to get those answers from a website or trying to call the business, you can simply do that right over here. And when you do that, when chats do come in, you'll see something like this. Like in the back end, you will see all the chats over here. But I want to show you an example as well. Let me open that up. I want to show you an example of how you can quite easily communicate with that person, with the audience that's signing in. And you are basically able to answer all their questions. So things like, hey, do you guys fix water heaters? This is a plumbing company. Absolutely, we do this. We do all these things. And that's what the AI is answering. So the answer is mine's electric, not heating properly. So the AI can answer that question as well. And it's all based on the information that you feed into the AI.
I
So
want to interrupt you really quick. Sorry, Neil.
Yeah.
It's when you were showing me that chat, it said AI assistant.
Yes.
Is that how it's labeled to the customer? Are we upfront with it to them that it's an AI, or if you wanted to, could you hide that? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We are upfront with that. So in this case, it would be Natasha, you know, and the first message would often be, hi, this is, you know, the business virtual assistant. I'm Natasha. How can I help you today? And the reason why we are upfront and honest with that is because people are getting more comfortable with chatting with AI. Like they know it's impossible to get a real human being on the other side. So they are comfortable with interacting with AI as long as they're getting clear responses. So we've found that as long as the quality of response is good, and look, these days, that's become easy with things like OpenAI or Perplexity or DeepSeek, then people are happy to talk to AI. I mean, it happens with me as well. If I have some questions that I want quick answers to, I don't want to be in a queue and wait for 10 minutes to talk to a human being. I just want the answers now. So we haven't found that there's any pushback. In fact, it's not just us. As you'll probably see on the sales page, there's a lot of other people that have used this kind of automation setup as well for themselves. So for example, they've had AI in the back and collecting this information, initially engaging them, and then automatically following up using SMS or just an in-browser conversation as well. And customers are just as happy with that as they would be with a real person.
Okay, good. I like that answer. And in my personal experience of dealing with online support, I don't mind dealing with an AI. I think as long as I know that if I need to speak with someone eventually, that I'll be able to find whether either now or if I have to like ask for another way of contacting or whatever, as long as I know that there is a way of speaking with someone if I need to.
Yeah, you can. And I mean, you can literally at the end of the conversation, an audience, a person, a prospect could say, hey, I still have questions, like, can you call me back? And as long as we have their phone number, which in this case we do, for example, we can be like, yeah, when we open at this time in the morning, we'll give you a call. And
Cool.
that's it. Like we can leave it at that.
Love it. Thank you.
So this is what Local AI Fleet does. Essentially, like I said, it's a QR based, like QR initiated way of engaging the audience that's coming to your website or looking at your flyers. And that way, answering all their questions, making sure they want to reserve an appointment, they can do so. If they want to call back, they can ask for that. All those things happen, managed automatically using Local AI Fleet.
And you've got, from what I saw here, you've got like the SMS automation so that, I mean, you're going to be gathering these leads and starting conversations with them that, let's say someone starts a conversation with the AI and you see that, okay, this is a person that is really a potential customer. They're not just like a tire kicker. You could potentially follow up with them later too. I mean, you've got their lead information, you've got all that info so that you could see if this is someone that you can actually help.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. So you're able to collect all these leads and then you can download and communicate them with later if you want as well. But because we're doing a lot of follow-up automatically via SMS, it kind of engages and whitelists the customer as well.
Ah. So it's going to sell. It's pretty much, if you want to, you don't have to actually do any selling at all. You can just have it do it all for you.
Yeah, you can. Or even like reservation booking, if it's a restaurant, for example, or a law firm. I mean, if you wanted to give them an idea of how much it costs to hire you, you can feed all that information in and the AI can answer. And if the customer is like, yeah, I'm happy with this, like, let me know how to proceed, the AI can end with, like, if someone's ready to sign up, you can add that in FAQ and say, okay, we'll reach out to you as soon as our kind of office is open, and then we can work on a payment plan then. So AI will basically handle that part of the conversation for you. If it requires someone else to close the sale. Or if you have a sales page already, like if someone says like, okay, I'm ready to sign up, where do I buy? The AI can give the sales page link if you basically train the AI to do so.
Talk to me a little bit more about getting leads for this. So you've
Yeah,
got the QR creator to potentially like I'm trying to use my brain a little bit.
sure.
AI's ChatGPT's made my brain a little bit fuzzy because I rely on it
Yeah,
too much, I think.
yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about like you can make the QR codes. Are you going to put those out on like how do you do this?
So, okay, leads. When I say leads and when you say leads, people will think of two things. How do I get leads that I can turn into clients? So I'll show you that part quickly, then I'll answer the other question.
Hmm.
And so we have a built-in lead finder where you can, for example, say something along the lines of, I'm looking for plumbers based out of New York. So when you say that, it's able to take that information in and in real time give you leads, which populate over here. So it gives you the basically the website, which if you reach out to them, you can set them as contacted. You can add them as a client in your database as well. And that's how you basically get new clients if
Hmm.
you don't have clients yet. But your
Hmm.
question is very valid. Like, let's say if you work with a restaurant, how do you get them new customers? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're paying, that's what they're paying you for. So for starters, I'll tell you this. A lot of the businesses already get a lot of visitors on their websites if they have one, but they struggle to convert them because, a lot of these websites are not really built for conversions, as you know. Like we build long sales pages, we know they convert, but websites are not built for conversion. But when you put in a QR code, when you put in an easy way for them to get answers to their questions, one that converts people easily once they land on the website, right? The second way you'd get customers for these businesses is exactly what I said, like printing QR codes out on flyers and putting them in places where they will get noticed. So, for example, if a local restaurant has an event coming up, if they have a special Christmas thing coming up, they could create an ad about that and put that in posters and put it in various establishments. And people would just go, they would scan, they would reserve a table. Simple as that. So that would be how I would encourage agency owners to get new customers for the businesses they work with. And the thing is, when you say, okay, here's your QR code, like, can you now just go and use it? And they're like, well, we don't know what to do with it. That gives you an opportunity to upsell them and say, okay, tell you what, I'll get an ad created for you. I'll get a flyer created for you. We'll print out a couple of hundred flyers in the first run and we'll spread them around the city. Is that okay? That'll be another $200. And they'll be like, yeah, sure. Here's another couple of hundred. Go do your thing. So you can do that as well. So this is an opportunity for people to go and upsell the businesses that they're working with.
Is there any way other than a QR code of getting someone to to go to speak with that agent? Like, can you give people just a link or something, or do you have to give them a QR code?
No, the link works as well. So let me just show you the QR campaign over here for the one that we created. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. So, okay, so we've got these campaigns. So let's go ahead and edit this. And I'll show you this 1 second. Right here. So this is the QR code, but this is where people go to, right? So let me
Okay.
just change what my screen looks like. This is where people go to. And of course, this is a dummy page that we have set up. But you could basically have this page on your website. And as you can see, the layout is more attuned to mobile because typically these days, that's where people browse
Hmm.
websites on the go. So you want this phone to be as simple as possible. When they submit this, they can start engaging with the AI agent on the back end and ask them questions and whatever it is they want to do at that time.
Well, it also looks like a lead gen form, and in my experience, the simplest forms convert the best as far as
Yeah.
getting people to put their information in. So
Yeah.
you could even link from a website and have people, if you wanted people to sign up for a service or something or get leads,
Mhm.
you could even put links on websites as well. Very cool. Really quick, but I'm going to ask you. I want you to, if there's anything else you want to explain about this, that's great. I'm also going to be asking about the bundle. I know that you're going to be
Sure.
doing a special pre-launch webinar tomorrow on
Yes.
the 7th of August at 10 a.m. Eastern. Why should people sign up for that webinar? What's the deal?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So yes, we have a webinar at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, August 7th. And the story that I talked about earlier, I'll be going into a bit more detail about that. I'll also go into how to actually find clients for this and close them for as little as $300 a month, but then upsell them, as I said, with flyers as a service if that's what you want to do, and or charge another couple of hundred or even more that you want to. And to me, I feel this is a very easy way to get your foot through the door with services because look, a lot of us want to sell services to businesses where we get like $1,000, $2,000 a month easy, but a lot of businesses don't have the capacity for that. So I think this opens the door, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow as to how once this door is open, you go in and you offer more services as well. So tomorrow is going to be a mix of training, a bit more time spent in demoing this tool and answering some questions as well. And I think for that reason, people should be on that webinar at 10 a.m. Eastern. And of course, as you quite rightly pointed out, on that webinar exclusively, we'll be offering the bundle deal as well. We recently stopped doing it, but I think just a few months ago we brought it back, which means that if you were to show up on that webinar, you'll get an opportunity to get basically the fully unlocked version of Local AI Fleet white labeled for you for a one-time payment.
I'm going to ask you about that bundle and what they're going to be getting inside of it. Before I do that,
Yeah.
you talk about launching a $3,000 a month agency. Are there
Yeah.
people actually right now actually making money selling this, like selling QR code stuff and agents and whatever? Are there people actually doing this and making money right now, or is that a made up number?
Yeah, no. It's covered in the sales page quite extensively and really good question. So when we were doing our research to figure out, that, okay, who else faces this problem? Is it possible to solve this problem? There were actually other businesses that had solved this problem. So I'll say we're not the first ones to kind of fix it. Other businesses had fixed it. So we talk about, I think one of them is like Grand Street Dental, which is based out in Manhattan, that used QRs and SMS to increase their booking to have more people showing up and another examples too. But typically with them, the problem is that it costs a lot of money if you want to set this up yourself. So if you wanted to do all the coding, again, this is like from 2 years ago, it would cost you a lot of money. And yes, AI has made a lot of that easier these days, which is what then we found a lot of freelancers were using to make a lot $500,000 a piece, delivering a part of this as a service. So again, there were businesses that had spent, $10,000, $20,000 to build the whole thing from ground up. And then there were freelancers that were like, okay, we'll do one part for you for like $500 or $1,000. So we thought that since the solution is proven that it works, and
Mhm.
since there are people that have found a way to affordably deliver it, how about we combine that to create a tool, which is again how Local AI Fleet came to be. And as again, you'll see on the sales page, there are people that are consistently getting clients and doing this for them, even as a one-off service, and making what I would say is a job replacing income, 2 to 3 thousand, even $4,000 a month in the process.
Cool. The bundle. I don't know if you're going to want to, while you're talking about that, if you're going to show anything about that. If not, come back to us. If you're going to show us something, stay on the screen. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't think I will show anything because I think we're planning to kind of have that more of the demo tomorrow. So let me see. I think the screen share is stopped, right? So that's okay.
No,
But
we're still on your
oh,
screen.
oh, we are. Let me see.
It's always the fun part of the
Yes.
technology.
Yes. Actually, okay, wait. I see this tab.
There you
All
go.
right.
You are back. So, Neil, the bundle discount that you mentioned before,
Mm.
talk to me a little bit about that because I know that usually there's like the sales funnel where you go through and you can have multiple different choices. What are they going
Yeah.
to be getting if they decide to skip all that and get the bundle?
Sure. So I'll say this, for people that only decide to come in like at a basic level, they're going to have about 10 client limits. So they can only have 10 clients within the setup. And they can only find like 50 leads a day if they wanted to do any kind of prospecting. But when you come into the bundle setup, we remove these limits so you go unlimited. What that means is you could have unlimited client workspaces and you could use the lead finder in an unlimited fashion. So you can find leads all the time if that's what you want to do. And of course, if you have unlimited clients, you also have unlimited AI employees for them. And to me, just it's basic math. If you're charging $300 a month, and in some countries, like I know I've shown this to some affiliates based out of India, and they're like, hey, we're gonna crash it for $100 a month for this because the cost of living is different. Great, do that. And then you can scale that up to 10, 20, 30 clients quite easily. And that still gives you a sizable, like I was saying, job replacing income. So the unlimited license will give you that ability. But I also know that when you work with local businesses, sometimes you want a stronger branding because of course when someone looks at this they're going to see local AI fleet. But if you go for the bundle deal, we've got a white label feature which allows you to change the logo, change the colors a little bit. That way you're able to um, give it a better look and feel for what it is that you're offering to people, right? So for other businesses, so you get the white label license with the bundle deal as well. And just so you know, the white label license is selling for the exact price that you get the bundle deal for. So basically, if you get the white label license, you for the for free you unlock full version of local AI fleet, plus you get additional training from me as well. That's going to help you go out there and upsell more services to local businesses and dominate that in your local area.
So it's worth it to get the bundle just because you're going to get everything, plus you're going to get the white label, and you're not going to have to go through the sales funnel. But if people don't, if they just want to, I mean, of course, it's up to them what they want to do. But if they want to go through you get the lower offer, they can. But if they want to get the best deal and the best discount, they can pick up that bundle. Neil, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything else, anything that we missed, anything you want to mention before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I want to say this that look, there's a few solutions before this that have tried to answer this question is how do we sell to local businesses? How do we engage them? How do we automate customer support and sales and marketing for these businesses? And they are good tools. But often what I find with them is that they tend to overcomplicate things. The technology requires a lot of know-how. You have to know a lot of different things. But this is something so simple that you could have it up and running for a client in 4 to 8 minutes, and it doesn't take more than that. So we're not trying to solve every problem that a business faces. We're trying to solve one major pain point, which is urgent for them. And you can solve it fairly quickly and you can get paid for it month after month. So I think I want to be clear that this is, we're not promising the sun and the stars with this tool. We are telling you what it can do. It does that exceptionally well and does it so easily so that you don't need to be a tech wizard. And I think that's enough for a lot of people to get started and make money as a local agency owner.
Let me say this too. I like what you said there, the fact that it's not a tool. Sometimes people will come out with the softwares that will try to do like everything. And when you try to do everything, usually what ends up happening is you don't end up being the best in what
Yeah.
you're doing. And with what you guys are doing, you're solving a specific problem. You have a specific tool. You have an entry point where people can either get in, like we said, through a link or a QR code or whatever. You have people that have a problem or some kind of issue that they want to solve. They want to get immediate results and immediate answers, and they're able to do that through the software. And potentially, they could. I like the fact that you have the whole SMS thing where it can follow up with them. And if you don't want to ever even talk to these people ever, you don't have to, but they're able to get their answers and get potentially sold to without you doing that. So that's great. This is one of those things where you could use this as a foot in the door. I
Mhm.
always think that people, especially when it comes to local marketing, they think, okay, I got to go out there and I have to initially sell to people. If you've never sold anything ever online and you don't have any clients and you're wondering how you're going to do this, this could be a great way of going into businesses and either offering this very inexpensively at first or even offering to do it for people for free. I know that sounds, people are going to go, oh my God, why would I ever do that? But if you have other software that you purchase, other services that you could provide to people, you could use this as kind of starting that conversation, showing them results, and then moving on
Mhm.
from that. And then once you start having customers that, and I see that when you show me the demo, you have stats there, I think, that show like how many people have used the QR code, like, and how you can look at how many people have the conversations going. You could go and show the businesses, look, this is actually getting you results. And once they see that, and they see, okay, this isn't just some other person trying to sell me some silly website or something. This person's actually getting me results. Then they're going to want to work with you even more. Because these businesses, they don't care about having a Facebook page or an Instagram page or a flashy website. That they care
Mhm.
about actually getting results. If you can bring these people customers and you can bring them more sales, then they're going to be willing to pay you more. That's my take on it.
Absolutely. No, I love that. I love that.
Neil, again, thank you so much for coming on. And again, anyone who wants to join Neil, go ahead and click that link, sign up for the pre-launch webinar. Again, that is on Thursday, Thursday
Yes.
at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, August 7th. Thank you again for coming on the show and best of luck with your launch.
Thanks, Mike.